Now at 5, the Kansas governor talks axing the food tax, but some store owners still have questions. Plus, folks across the area are preparing to root for their team in the Super Bowl, including students.
The death toll keeps rising after an earthquake shatters lives in Turkey and Syria. I'm Tina Kraus with the race to find survivors.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly made a stop in Pittsburgh to tout her axe to the food tax plans. This is your KOAM News at 5. I'm Jalen Banks. Food sales tax decreased to 4% for non-prepared food in January. However, there was confusion at some businesses while they adjust to the reduced tax.
There's definitely a little confusion at first because we pretty much just found out from the news about the new laws regarding the tax. Whenever it came to actually implementing it, though, it really wasn't too bad.
Businesses like Pittsburgh Truck and Travel are grateful for the pre-installed software in their registers. It made the transition to reduced rate easier. And now Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us.
Well, it turned out to be a very mild and very windy day for us today. Winds gusting between that kind of 40 to 50 mile per hour range. Also a lot of clouds out there, but nothing underneath the clouds. But we are going to start to see some showers popping up for us as we go through the evening into the overnight hours tonight. Check out these temps. We're sitting into lower 60s right now, so it looks fantastic. We're going to stay mild throughout the evening hours. Very windy. The winds really aren't going to calm down for they'll start to calm down just a bit for us tomorrow, but they're definitely going to stay windy as we go through the evening hours. Look at these wind gusts, anywhere from 30 to 40 to 50 miles per hour at times. So it's going to stay super windy as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Clouds continue to thicken. Some showers pop up late this evening, so that's something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. Plus, on top of that, rain tomorrow, rain into Wednesday, decent rainfall amounts, maybe even some snow by Friday. A lot to talk about here in just a bit.
A fundraising drive is underway to replace the now vacant mini golf course at Four Oaks in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation Department is applying for a land and water conservation fund grant. However, they must have a local match in place. That's where resident Joe Leake's fundraiser comes in. So far, he's raised $140,000 of the $175 needed.
I took a trip down to the City Hall and talked with Darren Hall and told him the predicament that I had taken my grandkids to play golf, and lo and behold, it wasn't open and didn't look like it was ever going to reopen. So I told him that, what can we do? And he said, Joe, it just takes money.
Until the grant is accepted, Joe Leake is offering a letter of intent to commit funding. You can find more details about how to pledge on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. We're counting down until the Super Bowl, and so are some students in several four-state schools. The Carl Junction School District is celebrating all week. Today, they kicked off the Spirit Week with Mahomes Monday. Other events this week include Winning Wednesday and Travis Throwback Thursday.
A lot of happiness. I was yelling and dancing. Yeah, that's basically all.
The Chiefs take on the Eagles in Super Bowl 57 this Sunday in Glendale, Arizona. You can watch it on our sister station, Fox 14. The kickoff is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. Central. Some first graders from St. Mary's Colgan Elementary in Pittsburgh made a visit to the Ronald McDonald House in Joplin this morning. 2 classes brought items to donate and toured the house. Emily Lone is one of the first grade teachers. She started bringing her students to volunteer at the Ronald McDonald House in 2009.
My daughter was born with cancer, and after experiencing what Ronald McDonald House gives while we were up at the hospital, I wanted my students to see this important part of our community. And I was so excited that they're letting us bring our first graders here to visit, to get to experience a place in our community that gives back to so many people.
The Ronald McDonald House provides temporary lodging for families of seriously ill children and for sick expectant mothers. Turkish president declares 7 days of national mourning after a 7.8 magnitude earthquake rocked the border of Turkey and Syria. More than 3,400 people were killed and hundreds of people are believed to still be trapped in the rubble. Tina Kraus has more.
The powerful earthquake struck near the border of Turkey and Syria as people slept. And daylight revealed the scale of the disaster. This man says 12 families were trapped here and no one managed to get out. Rescuers worked quickly and carefully in the bitter cold. Some, still buried in the rubble, posted videos on social media begging for help. Medics rushed some of the smallest survivors to hospitals in the wake of the 7.8 magnitude quake. But there was more devastation to come. A 7.6 quake hit 12 hours after the first one, and dozens of aftershocks caused more buildings to crumble, triggering panic and complicating search efforts. The damage stretches for hundreds of miles. In the Turkish city of Gaziantep, parts of a historic castle that stood for more than 2,000 years are in ruins. And just over the border, in the last rebel-controlled corner of Syria, millions displaced from civil war are facing more misery.
We need help from everyone to save our people.
Turkey sits on one of the world's most active fault lines and is often shaken by earthquakes. But this is one of the strongest to hit the area, felt by people 1,000 miles away. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Back in 1999, a quake struck northwest Turkey, killing around 18,000 people. The Navy is recovering pieces of the Chinese balloon shot down off the coast of South Carolina using sonar technology and taking care in case it contained explosives. The Biden administration says waiting to take down the balloon was, quote, allowed us to better understand the Chinese program and further confirmed its mission was surveillance.
What China did was unacceptable. We protected civilians and we gained more intel while protecting our own sensitive information.
Chinese officials insist the flyover was an accident involving a civilian aircraft. They accuse U.S. of hyping up the incident and damaging the relationship between the two countries. Still ahead in health news.
Could living a healthy lifestyle prevent long COVID? I'm Dr. Malika Marshall with the latest research.
And going to see a movie in the theater could cost you more or less. The details coming up in AMC's new plan. Still ahead. Topping today's Health Watch. Millions of Americans are struggling with debilitating fatigue, respiratory, heart, neurological, and digestive symptoms after battling COVID-19. Now, new research suggests taking some simple, healthy steps could prevent symptoms of long COVID. Dr. Malika Marshall has more.
Why do some people suffer long COVID symptoms and others don't? New research in JAMA Internal Medicine looks at 6 lifestyle factors: diet, exercise, not smoking, healthy weight, adequate sleep, and moderate alcohol consumption. Women who have 5 or 6 of these healthy building blocks are about half as likely to get long COVID compared to women who have 1 or 2.
What if Americans all had 5 or 6 of these healthy lifestyles instead of whatever they do have now? And we calculated that about 36% of long COVID cases would have been avoided.
The study looks at data on more than 32,000 female nurses at the start of the pandemic and follows them for a year. Dr. Andrea Roberts with Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health says inflammation may play a critical role.
There have been a bunch of studies to suggest that people who have inflammation in their bodies are more likely to end up with long COVID. And we know that a lot of these healthy lifestyle factors are related to reducing inflammation in your body.
Having a healthy weight and getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night are the strongest lifestyle factors associated with lower long COVID risk.
I think sleep is something we really overlook oftentimes when we're talking about health. And we all know that, our sleep habits maybe aren't the best.
Taking some simple, healthy steps could possibly prevent what for many is a long haul after COVID. Dr. Malika Marshall, CBS News, Boston.
Researchers say inflammation is also an indicator the immune system is not functioning quite right, which could be another explanation for how healthy lifestyle factors may affect long COVID risk. The winter triple threat of flu, COVID-19, and RSV is easing in the U.S. Most states are now reporting lower or minimal levels of respiratory activity. Federal data show emergency department visits for these viruses are a third of what they were a month ago. Still, hospitals are about as full as they've been during the pandemic. At least 75% of available beds across the country were in use for all of 2022. Experts warn that won't likely change soon because those coming to the hospital are sicker than in the past. The Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services awarded more than $231,000 in a grant in a bid to enhance suicide prevention efforts in the state. The grant creates the State Suicide Prevention Coalition. Among the group's duties, providing information to policymakers and advocates on what's needed to grow suicide prevention efforts. That's a look at today's health news, and a little later, Congress is considering new rules for airlines after those severe travel disruptions during the holidays.
Plus, we have plenty of chances for rain this week. I'm going to give you those details coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a mild and very windy day for us today. In fact, we set record highs. The record was 69. We hit 70 for us today. A lot of clouds across the region. Winds, though, gusting 40 to 50 at times as we went through the afternoon. You can see those clouds outside on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Look at these temps. I mean, still 63 in Joplin, 66 KC, 71 in Oklahoma City. We have a decently strong cold front that is going to roll in, and that's going to do a few things for us tonight. One, it's going to give us chances for rain to increase along that front, and then two, of course, it's going to cool us down as we go through the next few days. But look at these winds, southerly winds sustained in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range, and then you add on the wind gust, and all afternoon long they've been gusting between 40 upwards to 50 miles per hour. The winds are going to back down just a little bit as we go through the next 24 hours. Here's your evening planner. A lot of clouds, some showers starting to pop up late this evening. We stay mild. Eventually, we drop back into lower 40s a little bit later on tonight. All right, a lot of clouds out there right now, but if we look underneath them, not much is going on. I don't expect to see any showers popping up until late this evening. 9, 10 o'clock is our developing storm system. In fact, the main wave is way out northern parts of Arizona. It's going to take a couple days to get through, so the end result means for us, we're going to see the clouds and rain chances sticking around over the next couple days. Let's walk you through the next 36 hours. Here's 10:30. You can see on that front a few scattered showers. There could even be an embedded thunderstorm, nothing strong, nothing severe. Here's 1:30 in the morning along the I-44 corridor. Periods of showers all the way into tomorrow morning. Here's 7 a.m. When you wake up, most of the rain is going to be along and south of I-44. So north of I-44, you will dry out by morning. As we go through the morning hours, those showers continue. You can see them kind of creeping back north, just north of I-44. As we get into the afternoon, they start to creep back into our northern counties. Periods of showers, random thunderstorm, temperatures upper 40s to near 50 degrees. By tomorrow night, rain. Periods of rain through the region. Here's midnight. Let's go into Wednesday morning. Showers stick around. Make it a little bit of a break Wednesday morning, and then rain will start to increase again once we get into Wednesday afternoon. Here's the noon hour, and then we get the backside of this system, which pushes in Wednesday evening. There could even be a couple flakes of snow trying to mix in. It doesn't look like a big deal, but you can see our rain chances really shoot up 11 p.m. all through the night, just periods of showers all the way into Wednesday morning. And rainfall amounts, we could get some decent amounts, which, hey, we could use. I think most of us will pick up at least a half an inch to an inch. Heavier amounts are going to be right along that I-44 corridor as we go into the next couple days. All right, so showers tomorrow, rain Wednesday. Thursday, just mostly cloudy skies. As we go into Friday, we got another storm system that could give us some morning snow showers that we got to keep our eyes on. And then, of course, the weekend, Saturday looks great. Super Bowl Sunday, watching for a few showers trying to roll in by Saturday or Sunday evening.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, that looks good. I mean, there's just the one, blemish with Friday being in the 30s, and then
it's going to be wet the next couple days.
But other than that, all good.
All right.
All right, thank you, Doug. Coming up, a massive read-to-eat food recall is now underway. We'll tell you what you need to look for still ahead. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Congress is considering new rules for airlines after severe air travel disruptions ruined the holiday for tens of thousands of Americans. A group of senators wants to enshrine a passenger bill of rights into law. Chris Van Cleve reports from Phoenix.
With their daughter Emily in a Denver, Colorado hospital over the holidays, Christine Pastor and her husband booked a Southwest Airlines flight for December 26th to be with Emily on her birthday. At the airport, they learned their flight was canceled, and it would be days before Southwest could find them another flight.
We were devastated. We were planning this trip for quite a while, and the most frustrating part is that it was blue skies. All the other airlines were flying, and there were seats available, and we just could not get there.
The Pastors were among the hundreds of thousands stranded during Southwest's meltdown, resulting in nearly 17,000 canceled flights, costing the company about $800 million. Now, several U.S. senators say airlines need to do more to protect consumers.
The goal is to level the playing field for consumers. They're being ripped off.
Senators Ed Markey and Richard Blumenthal introduced an Airline Passengers Bill of Rights aimed at requiring airlines to fairly compensate flyers during airline-caused delays and cancellations. The senators also want to limit fees for bags, seating, as well as for changes or cancellations. This as the Department of Transportation is planning new regulations to prohibit charging for families to sit next to children.
If passengers could receive $1,350 whenever their flight is delayed by 4 hours, I am guaranteeing you there'd be a lot fewer delays.
Airlines for America, the trade group representing most of the nation's carriers, says it is in the interest of all U.S. airlines to provide a positive flight experience for all passengers. The proposed policies in this bill would drastically decrease competition, leading to a subsequent increase in airfare prices. The Pastors say they're still waiting to hear from Southwest if they'll be reimbursed for more than $800 in expenses from that trip they weren't able to take. Southwest acknowledges they are still working through some of those requests. The airline has apologized to customers, says it is investing $1 billion in improving its IT systems. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Phoenix.
AMC is going to charge more for certain seats in its theaters. For now, there will be 3 options. First is standard price, which AMC says will be the most common seats. If you want a seat in the middle of the theater, you'll have to pay a premium. And sitting in the front row will cost less than a regular ticket. The new pricing rolls out Friday in New York, Chicago, and Kansas City. It's set to hit all AMC theaters before the end of the year. Hundreds of convenience food products are being recalled due to a possible listeria contamination. The FDA recall includes a long list of ready-to-eat sandwiches, salads, yogurts, wraps, and more sold in the last week of January. The affected products were sold under dozens of brand names. They have a fresh creative cuisine label on the bottom, a fresh through or a sell-through date ranging from January 31st to February 6th. Listeria symptoms include fever, headache, diarrhea, and vomiting. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the latest on recovery efforts in Turkey after a massive earthquake killed thousands. Then on the KOAM News at 6, we'll hear more from Kansas Governor Laura Kelly on her Axe the Food tax plan. Plus, how Fort Scott Community College is responding to the growing popularity of ChatGPT. And a dozen area high school athletes signed to continue their careers in college. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and the KOAM News at 6. All right, Doug, lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, we got showers, which are going to start to pick up, especially late this evening, and then periods of showers throughout the overnight hours tonight. Again, showers tomorrow, especially along and south of I-44. Everybody gets into the action tomorrow night into Wednesday. So the next couple days are going to be gloomy and wet, and then a chance for some snow Thursday night into Friday morning.
I know we've been hearing it for months now, but I know that we need as much precipitation as possible.
We do, so we can use it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we'll see you right back here for the KM News at 6. We'll see you then.